This is Stacy Chalkin with Beyond the Table. We are speaking with Garrett Vaughan today. He is 19 years old. He has been a great junior player and a great addition to the game. Now, as an adult, he has already won the second chance at turning stone, been to Japan, and makes a big splash in the pool industry. So we're really happy to have you, Garrett, and we're excited to hear all about how you approach this game.
Thank you for having me.
Great. You've done great things. But there was one other great thing that you did in the team twice. You said the team juniors.
Yeah, 2 years in a row. Yeah,
That's really great. Questions for you. So obviously we know you were playing 8 years, but we said, how old were you when you started playing? And why did you decide to be a professional? You can pretty much do anything you want.
um, I started when I was 12. Just turned 12, and my dad brought me to a pool room in Richmond, Virginia, and Johnny Archer and Rodney Morris were there, and they talked me into it because at the time I was playing football, and I was all beat up and stuff, and I didn't want to get beat up the rest of my life, so they talked me into it, and then I started it, and then I wanted to be like them, so I kind of looked up to them a little bit.
That's great. Okay, you're giving it your all and working on getting to the top, which is great. You're close already. You're pretty high up there in your skill. And all the great players that you play too. So it helps to have those people on your side, legends in pool, that can teach you some of the stuff that's the secrets to getting better.
Yes, ma'am. And then I got to where I started to know Earl Strickland and everything, and once I could start beating my dad, then I was really happy.
Yeah, and you sure that he was really proud of you. I actually know that he's really proud of you for all of the things.
Yeah, he is. Played better then.
I don't know if I'd say that, of course, no, but you definitely played good then, and I knew that big things were coming for you. So I'm lucky to kind of see your progression, and I'm thinking 5 years from now when you're winning some of those really big international events, I'm going to say I remember that kid when he was 14.
Yeah, yeah, that was actually one of my most that was one of my favorite wins actually, because the my favorite win was probably the Dinosaur Cup for the juniors, and then the next one would be that the one in Louisville. I didn't win a lot of juniors because um I mean I played in a lot, but not. I feel like I wasn't the type of person that was chasing the junior circuit. I didn't
Yeah.
like to go out and play and just play against juniors all the time.
Well, you had big aspirations, and so your main goal wasn't to win the juniors; it was to get to be like a world class player.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. That's great. How do you stay calm when you're in competition or when you're feeling the pressure?
I'm not the best at staying calm, but um, I would say the things that help me is like when I start to feel like uncomfortable or just not confident in what the cue ball is gonna be doing, because that's usually what happens is if I feel like I can't control the cue ball, then I get uncomfortable and I just stop thinking too much and just think about putting a cue ball on a spot on the table, which kind of simplifies it for me, which helps. Or if I get upset, then I usually try and stop thinking about pool for a minute and just think about something else. Like, I'll be sitting there and I might not even be looking at the table, which is not a good thing, but I'll like, if there's a TV around, I'll probably watch the TV or, um, just think about anything other than what just happened, just to.
That's actually really good. I mean, I know that that's different from what other players do, but I honestly think that it's what works for you because it's what makes you able to come back and refocus. And sometimes focusing on the issue is hard, right? So, like, if you give your brain a break to reset and then come back with like a fresh mind, you can't really do that through the whole match, but you active little just gives your brain a break to kind of reset. And then when you come back to the table, you might feel differently.
Yes.
So that's good that you found your own way to focus. And this is one of the reasons that we want to talk to all different kinds of players because not only there's not only different ways. And like some people chew gum, some people they just, reset, they breathe. There's all these different, and this technique works for you. And that's great because there's a lot of other, we know you're not a junior anymore, but right underneath you are all those up and coming junior players who are dealing with these types of things and who have aspirations like you. I know that, you can be as prepared as you want with your, physical game, but the mental game has to catch up. Otherwise, you could do 1,000 stop shots and you get under a high pressure situation and you miss the stop shot or you miss an easy shot. It's like, and I wouldn't say that you're not good at it. Good at your mental game. I'd say that maybe everyone is a work in progress for that, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
It's true. Everyone's, and we've seen some of the very top pros miss, and I've seen the commentators say the pressure. There's a high pressure for that, especially in a big tournament, $50,000 on the line, and who knows what they're thinking and feeling, but that's what makes you better, right?
The way that I think of it is like the pressure. What helps me with the pressure is if I'm fully zoned in, you don't really realize what's going on. So if you start feeling pressure, then you're not fully zoned in
That's
because
yeah.
you're thinking about what's about to happen instead of just running out.
That's good. That's good. And almost forget you're in a match when you're having a good time and making shots and running out.
Yeah, yeah. I always felt like when I get so zoned in, I don't even remember anything. Like I remember, but I don't at the same time. You know what I mean? Like I don't realize really what I'm doing. It's
Yeah.
just I'm in. Like I don't even realize the score or anything.
No, I definitely agree. Like I said, I'm only an amateur, but like uh, I was down 7-1 the first set, and I definitely was feeling pressured. Right, and I was winner of the winners bracket, and I just decided, like you were saying, hey, if I'm going to lose, I'm going to go out shooting, I'm just going to go out there and have a good time. And I didn't care what the score was. Okay. So that our last question for you was, what do you do to remain focused when you're coming from behind in a match? And the second part is if you don't end up if you don't end up winning that match and coming perspective, what do you do for your perspective on those losses?
Oh, this one's important because I find myself down a lot, and it's very important for me to think about this because I get frustrated pretty fast sometimes when I'm down because it's natural to start. I feel, at least for me, it's natural for me to start panicking because you're not in a spot that you like,
Of course. Yep.
and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to start doing something. So I try not to think about that. What I do is I played in a lot of chip tournaments when I first started, and so I start trying to treat it as a chip tournament. And because in those chip tournaments, I didn't lose very much, so I was like, "All right, just win this one game right here." And then and then if, we start another game and then I'm like, "Okay, just win this next game." And then eventually, if you win enough, you'll be back.
Great advice too, because yeah, for sure. Like there's so many players I chat with, and coming from behind is very hard because not only you're already feeling pressure before the match starts, but now this person might come out at the table 3-0. So you found something to help keep your focus, which is really important. And I know that you'll keep building on that as you continue forward. Some really good foundation to share with other people, right? This is important. There's so many juniors as well watching, their first big tournament and they're down and they don't really know what to think and they don't really ask, hey, what are you feeling or thinking when you're
Uh,
kids to ask each other that. So this is something that they really can relate to. And obviously, like I said, it works because winning the second chance at turnings down, especially for someone who's 19 is great.
I like it because, it's a good competition, but it's to where you're not having to play Feder Gorst, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to get like that, but sometimes you need to not. I feel like playing those guys will make you get overwhelmed with how well they play, so you're gonna be down. Like sometimes when I go in a big tournament, I'll get beat pretty bad, and I'll be like, "Oh, I'll never get there," you know,
Yeah.
like that. The way that they play is so high. It's like you get overwhelmed a little bit, but I try not to think about that. So whenever I go to the second chance and I win it, then I feel good about myself again, you know? So
That's really, I think that it's all a scale, right? So if I just get a lot of advice from players like you who are great and some of the legends out there, but it's always a scale, right? And even at the highest levels, they reflect to themselves what you think should be your best. So it's hard to imagine that those guys might think, oh, I had a bad match, right? Because a bad match to them would be the best match I've ever played in my entire life. But
yeah.
like it's a scale. So when you approach it and you remember who you are, right? And like what you can do, and that there's always someone better and someone worse. So it's fine if you beat me 7-0 every time. I would rather lose to Fedor Gore 7-0 than win against like somebody that doesn't. You're playing real players, like you're not playing beginner,
No, I'm playing with the best in the world.
and you're doing well, right? Like, and you're doing so good and you're on your path, and you really are, right? If you got up to the table and you were just never missing a shot ever, it would be boring. You wouldn't have anything to strive to, right? You just get up, run out, you get up, run out, get up, run out. No, you never feel stress, never feel pressure. It wouldn't be a challenge or fun anymore. Right. I'm interested to talk to you in 5 years again and see what your perspective is.
I can tell you that my perspective when I was 14, when you first met me, was probably a little different than now.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you have more experience and knowledge. Is there anything else you would like to say to all the juniors out there that are up and coming players that are looking up to you and saying, wow, this kid, like he's not a kid anymore and he's out there just beating and playing with the best of them?
I would say don't feel like it's not possible because when I was young, I used to not understand like how people could play so well, but it it really is possible. So don't feel like you can't do it. You know what I mean? It's if you look at the whole picture, it looks like it's too much, but just take it slow and you'll get there.
And that's good advice for life too, just so you know. So anyone who is listening to this, life can be overwhelming and there's a lot of stuff that comes at you.
Yeah, I even do it too. I feel like I've never felt like I was where I need to be because there's players that are better than me that are nine. Like, I'm gonna talk about AJ Monas. I don't know if you've heard of him, but that guy is good for, and he's 18, and he plays. He's an eight. He's like an 804 or something. Fargo. I mean, he's a really good, really good player, and so I always felt like I'm not where I need to be. So, but there's not really a time limit on it. You know what I mean? Like, I can be 30 years old and still be playing pool. So,
Right.
you don't have to be the best at a certain age, as long as I get where I want to be. So, I feel like that's one of the things that I need to think about more.
Yep. And that is also relative as you get older, is that most of us, no matter what age we are, always like, it would be better over here. And I'll be happy when I get there. So your advice is good, even for me or anyone else to hear, because I always think that too. But luckily now I kind of understand that you're always going to want more, right? You're always going to say like, I want more money or I want this. Once you get to a certain level, you want to get better, right? Like, oh, I'm a 700, I'm good, but I want to be an 800. Oh, I'm good, but I want to be the best.
Yeah.
And so it's good to remind yourself that, because once you go past it, you can't go
Yep.
said, there were still good times in those tournaments with your friends and competing. Now, and so you have so many more of, which is so awesome. I mean, I wish I could just go over and fly to Japan.
And was I feel like I've been to Europe twice, and um I've never been. I don't know if I would consider Puerto Rico South America. I wouldn't. That's more like Central America, right? So and it's also United States territory too. So um I've been there, and but Japan is my favorite country that I've ever been to other than America. But if I had to go anywhere, I'm gonna go to Japan. I like that place. It's and also my sponsor's from Japan. That's actually why I went there.
Yeah, and who's your sponsor? What's their name?
Adam Japan. Like
Oh, there you go. Nice. Okay, great.
Adam from Japan. Uh, very, very good stuff. They build cues and have gloves, and they're about to come out with a case and have some carbons coming out, I think, and things like that. Right now, they don't have the carbons out yet, but um, they are making them. They're trying to. They're prototypes right now.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll check on all their stuff and see what they got. And when will we see you in your next tournament? Do you have anything planned coming up?
Um, know that I'm for right now. I'm not sure, but I think the closest one is in May. I'm not for sure, but see, I do like the big ones, and then I find like little ones to put in between those. You know what I mean? Just to have something to do.
Some
And
competition practice.
I would say that the big one that's coming up would be like the WNT. It's like an hour from my house, so
Well,
there's a WNT tournament that's gonna be ran like in Front Royal, Virginia. Also by a pool room that sponsors me, On Q.
okay. Yep, I've heard of them.
On Q Sports Bar and Grill. Yeah, that very nice pool room. Last year there was a WNT tournament there, and I played in that. I didn't do so well, but um sometimes it happens.
Yeah, learning experience, right? Like you better. So thank you for being on the show. It was great to hear from you and all of the things you're doing for pool and for helping all of the players that you do help. And we're going to be looking forward to seeing you in the future.
Thank you.